And I'm covering this part with warmer colors, a bit more bright, clean yellowish shades. Now it looks pretty dark because we are comparing the color of the sky, which I'm painting now, with a white color around. But when we have another part with the darker colors, we can see that it's really light. So, and here I'm blending, I will put it on the flat position, blending this part. And left side I'm going to make darker with the strokes, the clouds. I'll take Blue Royale and a little bit Indanthren blue here, and Payne's gray in this area. And I'm going to make strokes, and I'm changing the position of my brush to make these strokes not straight, not flat. It will be made by round strokes with a different position to show this feeling of the clouds. And be careful with this part, because when we touch the yellow color with something bluish, we can get the green shade very easy. So try to use more quinacridone sienna or violet to make softer transition between yellow and blue part. It should be through violet, through the brown colors. And after that, when you made this transition, you can take again brighter blue and make few strokes with a brighter blue, for example, over here or even here, but try to avoid the connection between yellow and blue. So we can add a bit more strokes to make clouds here. Again, I touched the paper and I understood that it's getting more greenish. I took orange mixing and made few strokes with the orange color, and here a bit more blue, and try to keep this part lighter. If you feel that it's too dark, you can take water and blend the pigment to make it lighter. So sky should be pretty light. We already can feel this movement of clouds a little bit, and this part we should to wait until it will be dry and continue with the water area. For this area in the water, I'd like to show these highlights on the water because it's a very textured area and we can feel the difference between this part and another parts, which we can make with a soft wash. And here we should to prepare dark color. I'll take Payne's gray and mix it with a bit quinacridone sienna to make it slightly brownish, and a bit more Payne's gray and a little bit water. This prepared color shouldn't be very wet. You can remove pigment with a tissue paper, and here over this area until the bridge with the soft touches. I keep brush parallel to the paper, not with the vertical position. And here you can make these soft strokes. I will remove a bit more. It's a little bit too dark. I wash the brush, take a bit pigment, blend it somewhere else, remove extra water, and making these strokes. Like this, we can show the highlights on the water. Let's fold down. And try to make these strokes without angle. So it should be parallel to the horizon. We can, with a wet brush, blend it somewhere to make softer. So the idea to put color, to put the pigment only on the top part of this texture on the paper surface until this line. Here is a still water with the soft touches. here and here also until the beginning of the bridge. Like this. If you feel that it's too light, you can add somewhere more strokes to make this area even darker. You can also blend it with water. Somewhere we can cross the water with these strokes. But try to preserve a lot of light over here. So maybe make slightly warmer, somewhere warmer strokes. You can still work. Don't make it super dark. Here, close to horizon, let's make a bit more greenish shade to make it here, to show like real color of the water in the canal. More greenish. It can be lighter on the sun. Okay, now we can, in the shadow part, for example, blend a bit more with the water and colors. And here we don't need so strong edges. We can also just with water blend it a little bit to make softer. And we can continue, when this part is getting dry, we can continue to paint the top area, maybe few strokes more. All the time when you're painting, you can come closer, work at the one area, make one step back and check how it looks like. So when it's still wet, you can add and to remove a little bit green color. And with a big brush, let's make the warm color wash here at the foreground. It will be again the same mixing with the quinacridone sienna, yellow, and a little bit Payne's gray. A lot of water again. And let's make it brighter, maybe a little bit violet and more yellowish over here to make it warmer. If you feel that here is not enough contrast between land, between bridge and the water, don't worry, let's make this wash, and after we can add more dry brush strokes here on the top. So now we should to make the foreground with a good contrast, and it shouldn't be dark, it should be pretty light because we have to paint the cast shadows here, and it will make the contrast on the light surface. And try to make it lighter closer to the water part and darker closer to us, to show the depth and to show the air perspective. You can make few splashes, not here, to make this area just a little bit more textured. And do you remember I was talking that it's nice to make a color combination with warm washes, have something blue, and in cold something warm, so we can touch a little bit. It can be stroke or it can be drops with a blue color. time to paint this pretty big area, and you should to get more and more pigment all the time from your palette is not nice. Darker part. Oops, too wide. Okay. Just one part. Now it looks a little bit flat, but when we add the highlights, it will be much better. And the last bicycle. Try to make it with love. Don't hurry up. Take your time to paint each wheel. It's not so fast like the background, but it's also interesting. And now with the white pigment, you can use just white, or you can mix it with something yellowish, like color of the sky. But white pigment should be very thick, without water, just pigment. Let's make it a bit more yellowish. And now we should to make highlights, because sun goes from the back. All these surfaces should have highlights here, here, over the lamp. And it will show, it will emphasize our sketch, our bicycles, sketch of the bicycles. Over the wheel. And here. Okay, and as a final stroke, let's make a little bit texture of the tiles. We should to follow the perspective, and it will be closer to us. And here could be nice to make just a few strokes, maybe with the greenish part, to divide the line of the bridge, which has a different texture. And here a little bit suggestion to show the tiles at the foreground. If you want, you can also add few birds in front of the building, somewhere else. In the sky. Somewhere it can be with the silhouette of the bird, for example, which is closer to us, and further it can be just dots. Like this. One touch of the brush. And that's it. We finished with